Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more Kerbal Space Program. When we last left off, we had failed miserably on 2 different occasions, but I'm learning, slowly but surely, and I've gone ahead and done a few things. As you might be able to notice, at the top of the screen there, it says 64 science. As you can recall, the last attempt we had ended in destruction of our vessel because of a parachute incident that was completely and utterly my fault. However, for the sake of the series, I went ahead and redid that same flight, same trajectory, same everything, but with the proper parachutes, got the XP for, or got the science for it, and now we are able to go forward with our rocketry. So, we're going to hop into R&D here. First things first, we're going to spend this science. We have flight control, we have general construction, we have aviation, and we have basic science. Now we have some things to do here. If we went for basic science, this would allow us to make probes, and that could kind of be cool. But if we went for flight control, it gives us better stability, and we can do more things with it. So we're definitely going to go with flight control. Boop. Flight control has been done, and now it's going to take us a while to get anything else. So, orbit, we need to achieve orbit, first off and foremost. So that's what we're going to try to do today, and then in future episodes, we'll do some other things, maybe on the ground, do all the little contracts, and so on and so forth. So, let's open something. Well, what were we using last? The Reclaimer. Okay, so I actually did some adjustments. When I made the Reclaimer 1.5, which was with the new parachutes, as you can see, I did some adjusting. There are a lot of parachutes on this, and now for the sake of actually doing career mode in Kerbal Space Program, it's really important to be able to salvage as much as you can because things cost money. So by adding parachutes to it, hopefully the parachutes will deploy when they get close to the ground, and that will allow us to salvage whatever was used. So here we have the Reclaimer 1.5, and we are going to make a new vessel with our new stuff. So we're going to actually go to new, and we're going to go, actually, we're going to make it first. So we're going to start off with, of course, our command pod. Our Mark 1 command pod. And then we're going to add some fuel tanks and such. So we're going to start off with, actually, we need to start off with the key important things. So we're going to do a, oh, this is a dinky reaction wheel. Okay, so we're going to put the reaction wheel on the nose. And then we're going to go for, we have a service bay, we have a micro landing strut, that's useful. Parachute. I'm not sure what I want to put in the service bay. I'm not going to put anything at the moment, but I'm going to put our Science Junior on. That is very key. And then we have our Communitron as well. I want to put something on the nose of this, just to make it a little bit more aerodynamic. But you know what we might do, actually? We have a service bay here. Open the service bay, and we put the reaction wheel inside there. How nifty is that? So we'll close that up, we'll add our heat shield, and we're not going to really worry about how heavy it's going to be, because we're going to be smart about what we're doing. And now, if I'm not mistaken, if I open this up, I should be able to put our mystery goo containers inside of here. Like so. We're going to actually snap it. We're going to do 2 of them, so we can take them at different altitudes. So we got our reaction wheel in there, and we also have our mystery goo, which is very nice. Nice little service bay there. We have our Communitron, which is going to be necessary to send back crew reports once we're in orbit. So let's go ahead and install that. And then we have our radial mount parachutes, which, because this is a slightly heavier device. Actually, let's take a look here. Max safe deploy, 246. Full deployment altitude, 1,000 meters. Does it say anything about how much it will carry? Not really. But we're going to go with the 2 radial mounts just to be safe. Safety is key here. There we go. And we might even end up adding some micro landing struts. This will allow us a little bit more stability when we land. So that way we don't have to worry about breaking things, but I think we'll be alright. Mind you, this is the vessel that's going to be going into orbit, staying there for a little bit, and then coming back. Now, what do the radiator panels do? Radiator specs: core heat, max heat transfer rate, cools up to ×4 part temperature. So it cools things. I guess this is important if you're going in places that are going to be really hot. I'm not really sure how... Yeah, I'm not sure how the radiators work. I guess I'll have to look into that in the future. So we got all that done, and now we're going to go ahead and add our decoupler. Like so. There we go. There's our primary module here. And now we're going to add... We're going to start doing our rockets. We're going to add one of these. And this is going to be our primary fuel. We want to make sure we have enough. So this is our primary kind of orbital pod here. I could make this a lot smaller by obviously getting rid of the service module, but I think I'll keep it just for testing's sake. So there we have that. And now we're going to add another decoupler to there. And we are going to add our primary fuel, which is going to consist of one large fuel tank and one medium fuel tank. And the Reliant engine, probably. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to go with the Reliant engine, because we don't really need to be able to move all too much now that we have the reaction wheel. And now, we need to add some other things. So we have our primary rocket there. I feel like that's not going to be enough fuel. Hopefully it will be. I guess we'll find out. But now we need to add some aerodynamic things. So we have winglets. Now this is very important because this is going to give us a heck of a lot more stability than we had previously. So we're going to do 4 of them because we're going to use... Actually, we'll use 3 boosters. We don't want to go too fast. So we're only going to use 3 boosters. So we're going to set them up like so. And then we're also going to add more onto this stage as well. Just to make sure we have enough stability. Actually, instead of doing that, I'm going to add some basic fins. Just to make sure we have enough stability here. There we go. And now we're going to get our next decouplers. This is already actually a pretty cheap rocket I'm making here. Our next decouplers, we're going to move our winglets a little bit. Like so. And now we're not going to use the dinky boosters anymore. We're going for the thumpers. This should give us more than enough speed and thrust to really propel ourselves high up enough to where we're going to be sitting nice and pretty once we start to switch over to our main rocket. Readjust the basic fins. Add our aerodynamics. And we're obviously going to add some parachutes to these in hopes of saving them. So we're going to do just like this. And now, I think that's a pretty good little rocket we have assembled here. This hopefully should be enough to get us to orbit. I certainly hope so. We have all of our science things we need. We have all the boosters we need. We have the pod we need. Jebediah is going to be manning this mission. Very good. Now, we need to name it. This is going to be the... What would be a proper name? Endeavor. Pretty sure I spelled that wrong. For some reason, the U looks like a V. Either way. Mark 1. The Endeavor. Alright. Let's see what she can do. Hopefully all works well, but first we need to assign... So we're going to launch boosters, and then when we decouple, it's going to open up these parachutes. Now we need to assign these parachutes minimum pressure, and they're going to open at an altitude of 2,000. That will give them enough time to slow down. Actually, we'll do 1,500. That should be sufficient. Are we going to add any boosters on any parachutes on any of these other ones? Probably not, because they do tend to cause instability, and I don't really want to have that problem right now. So we're going to skip out on that, but then we're going to power our next rocket. We're going to then attach to the second one, power that rocket, detach, and then deploy our 2 final parachutes. Save the Endeavor Mark 1, and I believe we're ready for an attempt. Vehicle assembly building can't support vessels over 30 parts? What? I have to upgrade, don't I? I thought I already upgraded. Let's back out here real quick here. How many parts do I have? How do I check? How do I check how many parts I have? I don't know. Oh, parts 35 of the 30. I need to upgrade, don't I? So for right now, let's actually get rid of that. Just for, for we save this. And now we're going to leave, and we're going to try to upgrade our facility here. I thought I already did. How do I... Oh, I right-click it. That's right. I'm trying to relearn how to upgrade your actual station and such. Upgrade, 225,000. Max parts supported, 225. Yeah, we definitely need to upgrade it. We're upgrading it. There we go. It's been upgraded. Now we should be able to hold as many rockets as we could possibly need. 225 parts is a lot. So we should be just fine now. So let's go ahead and re-grab our radial decouplers. Choose 3 symmetry. We're going to attach them there. We're going to grab our boosters. And now we're going to grab our aerodynamic cones. Boop. And now we're going to add our radial parachutes once again. To there. Actually, I want them to land sideways. I think that'd be better for them. So we're going to put them midway. And so we have the boosters are going to fire. Then once we detach them, the parachutes are going to fire. And then we are going to activate our main engine. Then that will decouple into the secondary engine, to the orbital engine. And that will decouple to our module and allow us landing. Save, and I believe we're ready to go. I'm not going to test anything. This is purely going to be an orbital flight. A last-ditch effort and to try to get her up there. So we're not going to do that, but we are going to achieve goal of orbiting Kerbal. Reaction wheels are on. Everything is set. Are we ready, Jebediah? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff. We're going to start angling ourselves over. Reaction wheel is definitely doing its job. Angle ourselves over a little more. Starting to rotate a little bit, which we do not want. Keep on this heading. Gaining good speed. This hopefully will be enough to throw us really up into the atmosphere. We're going to roll over a little more. Keep our heading. 400 meters per second. 500 meters per second. Once the boosters are done, we're going to orient ourselves a little more. This is really throwing us up into the atmosphere. We're going to orient ourselves over a little more now. We're starting to heat up. They're done. Detach. They're away. Let's orient ourselves over more. Deploy our primary engine at about half throttle to where we're still gaining speed. And we're on our way. What is our current apoapsis height? 50,000. We need to get up to 70,000 or more. Preferably, it's going to be 80 is going to be where we want to go. So angle ourselves over just a little bit more. And we're going to booster up to full throttle here. Try to expand our apoapsis. Come on, come on, come on. This is going to be easy. 85,000 cut engines. Oh, we're going to make it to orbit. We got it this time. We so got it this time. There is nothing holding us back now. We so got it this time. We're so close to space. Let's do ourselves a crew report here. Oh, I didn't have any batteries. We have no batteries. I have no means of sending back crew reports. That's okay. That's okay. We don't need that right now. We're good. Apoapsis is holding at 870 or 87,000, correction. Our debris is falling back to Earth. We're almost in space. We're about to hit music. Our primary engine, still at half. We're going to have more than enough to get us into orbit. Oh, I'm so excited. Where our current altitude is about 64,000 meters. Very close to space. We're going to go ahead and start to orient ourselves over a little more towards our apoapsis, which is obviously the tip of our arc here. And we've made it into space. This will definitely be enough to achieve us orbit. We're going to make a little bit of a wider orbit, though. We want to be a little bit further away. Hopefully we can get more science from that. Orient ourselves over a little more. Keep bringing her over. Keep bringing her over. Do I have any way of making these rigid? It says there's a deploy option. Oh, I guess that just changes them. Makes us spin, I suppose. Approaching our apoapsis. And then we're going to make our burn to hopefully achieve orbit. I'm going to say we got it in the bag. Beginning our burn. I'm not quite as angled as I like to be, but I think we're going to have enough fuel to do it. We're going to cut our engines. We're going to roll her all the way over. We're going to wait till our apoapsis to get the maximum amount of our burn. We are approaching. Our apoapsis is at 91,000 now. We're at 88,000. We are approaching rapidly. Standing by for our burn. Mind you, we still have a secondary engine. And now we're going to burn. I don't think this engine's going to be enough to get us into orbit. But the secondary engine should. That engine's out. Decoupling. Secondary engine is on. And here we go. I did not angle myself enough on my ascent. If that costs me this orbit, I'm going to be very upset. Because I failed to orient myself properly. I was going way too vertical. I actually need to change my orientation a little bit. I'm past my apoapsis now. So I need to keep the apoapsis in front of me. Let's bring up our nav ball. Fuel's doing okay. Come on now. Let's reorient ourselves now. Come on. We might get it. And we should have enough fuel to bring us back in. Our apoapsis is really starting to move away from us now. We have half fuel. Come on now. Come on now. Cut engines. We've done it. Apoapsis height is 73,000. We've done it. We've achieved orbit. Yes. Did we complete it? Is it confirmed? We have entered orbit. We've done it. We have orbited Kerbal successfully. We have done it. We have successfully achieved all that we wanted to. Whoa, why did I teleport to the sun? Alright, here we are in orbit above Kerbal. Kerbal? What am I saying? Where are we? There's Kerbal. Why am I looking at the moon? What did I press? I want to look at Kerbal. What did I break? What did I break? Okay, so we're here, we're in orbit. Nothing new. Open doors. Observe materials bay, nothing really new. We're gonna keep that experiment for now. Open our service bay. Observe mystery goo. Nothing really new. But it's okay. We didn't really get all that much. But it's alright. The science was not really achieved, but that's okay. Why am I looking at the sun? I don't want to look at the sun. Oh, Chaospedia. I want to look at Kerbal. Why can I not look at Kerbal? Kerbal! Why? What did I break? I broke something. Alrighty, we are back. I figured out that I was not targeted on my module, so I was not able to actually look at the map. But now I fixed it. You just gotta hit tab a couple times and you'll go on back to it. So here. We've achieved orbit successfully, and now I believe we are okay to attempt our first spacewalk, which is a little ballsy, I'm not gonna lie. It could end terribly. There is a very, very high chance of it. Observe mystery goo. Has not really changed at all. Toggle crew report. No change. Jebediah, are you ready? Oh, cannot disembark while off Kerbal's surface. Astronaut complex upgrade required. Gosh darn it, I have not trained my men sufficiently. Well, that's unfortunate. However, we did make it to space. Everything we wanted to do was achieved. We're gonna change this a little bit here. We got everything we needed to do, pretty much. Crew report. Yeah, I can't really do much else. But what I am going to do is I'm going to try to land on another biome for the sake of science. So we are going to try to achieve science that way. Now, if my Kerbal Space program is correct, we need to turn retrograde. And this should bring us down a bit. Yes, it will. But we actually want to raise our periapsis a little bit in order to line up our descent properly. So we're going to raise our periapsis slightly. To where they're spinning. Cut. Okay. And now we're going to speed up some time here and see what happens while Jebediah is in space. So let's go up to warp. Bring us to warp 3. And watch us spin around. Now I want to start my descent about on the opposite side of where I want to land. So I don't want to go too far. We're going to bring her out of warp and see if there's any change with Jebediah. Now that he spent a little bit of time more in space than he has previously. No change. Any change to our goo, now that it's spent some more time in space. Let's check on our secondary one. Observe mystery goo. No change, no change. Okay, close our service bay doors. And we are almost at the halfway point. We got a little bit further to go. Bring her back up to warp. We're gonna try to aim for that desert biome right there, or at least over it. If we can approach over it, that'll be dandy. All right, now we're gonna turn to our periapsis. No, correction. We're gonna turn retrograde, and we're going to bring our orbit down to about... It's going to get caught in the atmosphere, so we want to bring it about there. And that should do her. We should start getting caught in the atmosphere around this point here. And hopefully that will bring us down at least over the over the correct biome. We shall see. No, we could actually adjust our orbit slightly. Or our angle of orbit, I should say. Oh, no, that is not the one we want. We want to angle it the other way a little bit. That way we'll come down at a slightly different angle and hopefully we'll actually land in the desert. Or at least very close to it. As you can see, our orbital plane is now angling up to the right. Which is what we want. Nothing too crazy. We're going to cut about there. That will give us a little bit more time, hopefully be able to get us some more science. So, our orbit has now been lowered to 32,000. That should be enough to get us caught in the atmosphere. I know it will. Let's go ahead and begin to our warp up. We don't want to smash into the planet by any means. That would be bad. Current velocity is 2,195. We are actually gaining as we're heading towards the periapsis. Jebediah is doing well. As we are in warp here. Let's take a look. Jebediah, my man. How you doing? I'm not able to actually do a crew report, am I? Nah, not while it's in warp. Not while it's in warp. I'd have to drop her out. We are successful. I'm so very pleased. We're finally successful in getting orbit. So very pleased. It took us long enough, but now we've successfully done it. And all is well. Oh, it looks like we've actually already begun to enter the atmosphere. This is not what we wanted. Do I have any way of correcting this? We're prematurely entering the atmosphere. We want to turn prograde. Do we have any way of raising this now? Okay. How are we doing on fuel? We don't have a whole lot of fuel left. Will this bring us out, or will we be stuck in this atmosphere? Are we stuck in it? It looks like we're going to be stuck. It looks like we're going to get caught by the atmosphere, unfortunately. And there's not going to be any way back out of it. However, our apoapsis is not declining. Well, it is, but not as fast of a rate as I would assume. Are we going to have enough momentum to fling us back out of the atmosphere? Many questions. Many questions. Let's close our bay doors. It's not looking like it. Most curious. I made a boo-boo. I didn't want to land on the dark side of the planet for safety reasons. We are gaining altitude. It looks like we might have enough to fling us out, which is spectacular. We just wanted enough to get us over to the light side, over towards the desert side of the planet, or the desert biome, I should say. We're approaching the horizon, and it looks like it's going to be enough. So, let's bring her down from warp, bring her around retrograde, make our burn towards the planet, hopefully be enough to get us back to into the atmosphere, which we are still in the atmosphere, but bringing her down, bringing her down, bringing her down. Bring her down more. And cut. Perfect. Just enough fuel left. And we're exactly where we want to be. We're about to hit our apoapsis here. And then it will be smooth sailing all the way down. And we'll be landing on the light side of the planet, just as we wanted. All is well. Jebediah, status report. Do you have anything new to say whatsoever? Status report, Mr. Jebediah. Nothing to say whatsoever. Our electrical charge is running a little low. I need to make sure I'm installing batteries next time. But now that we're in the atmosphere, we're going to bring her about and prepare ourselves for re-entry. We're going to bring her back prograde and stand by to release our engine. As we are beginning our descents now, and we're going to be gaining speed exponentially. At any moment now. will really start to go down. We're still kind of leveling out. We just passed the apoapsis, so we're going to start coming down nice and easy. We had to do a few corrections in order to get kind of the bearing we wanted to where we wanted to land in order to achieve as much as we possibly could in this area. But here we go. Bringing her down nice and easy. We got a little bit of fuel left, which means we judged our fuel correctly, just as we wanted to do. And we're bringing her down. We're over the desert now, so let's actually see what... Do you have anything to say? No, because we're still in the upper atmosphere. We're not quite registering as we're in the desert yet. Let's take a look at our goo samples real quick here. Review goo. Alright. Same. No change. Close our service modules. And we're really going to start moving now. Yep, there it is. We're picking up speed, greatly decreasing altitude. We're going to go ahead and drop our engines, as we're definitely going to be entering the atmosphere completely now. We're losing our engines. We're going to bring her around towards our heat shield. And now it's just a waiting game. I don't like warping when I'm re-entering the atmosphere because I've had times where it makes it overheat a lot and then I end up exploding. And that's not fun. So we're bringing her down. Nice and gently. Crew report. Nothing new. Our electric charge is running really low. I'm going to make sure I need to bring batteries next time. Because whenever I move or adjust the actual bearing or the orientation of the pod, it's using the electric charge. So, but from now on though, it should just be a nice, easy descent down. Aerodynamics will do all the work for us once we start getting into the thicker parts of the atmosphere, which should begin at any moment now. Actually, no, we got a little bit to go here, but that's okay. Jebediah is having a nice time. Yep, we've reached the point of the atmosphere. Jebediah is having a good old time. How do I bring it back out of this view? Oh, it's V, I believe. Yes, it is. Okay. What is heating up? It should not be heating up this early. We do have a heat shield. What is heating up? Mild concerns. What is heating up so much? We still have a long way to go through the atmosphere, and it's heating up exponentially. What is heating up so much? Is it the service mode? It's the Science Junior. It better not explode. Please no. Please no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm done for. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god, what is happening right now? Oh my god, what is happening right now? The Science Junior exploded. However, it would seem we are stuck on the service module. Okay, we lost all of our science, but frankly at this point, I don't care. As long as we're still alive and we can complete this mission, it's okay. We can get more science. In fact, the majority of our coming science here is going to be coming from this planet rather than anywhere else at the moment. Oh my goodness. Oh, we survived. Oh my goodness, we survived. What? I'm not sure why the Science Junior blew up like that. Because last time I had the heat shield on, I guess maybe it was the orientation in which I came down. I'm not really sure too much as to what happened. But we're still stuck on the service module here. It's no longer connected to us, mind you. Crew report. No, we're not, looks like because of that incident, we're going to miss our mark. Therefore, we're not going to be able to gather the technology from the desert planet. Or the desert biome, correction. And we gained practically zero science whatsoever. because this is definitely going to crash into the ocean and explode, or completely destroy itself. We gained a whopping 0 science from that entire mission. However, we did achieve orbit, so that's going to give us a little bit of something. But it looks like we're going to start sliding off now. Yep, there we go. And we'll just continue on our downward descent here. Hopefully that doesn't come and land on top of us. But we're about to the point where we're going to deploy our parachutes. That's going to begin to slow us down even more. We're coming down a little hot. Come on, parachutes, hang in there. They're deployed. Good. We're good. We're all good. 800 meters deployed. We're all good. Crew report. Override existing. Still nothing whatsoever. Oh, looks like the other thing fell in the water. Our service module. Well, that was disappointing. The re-entry was a big old fail. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm really not sure what happened. The Science Junior just could not take the stress. I'm really not sure what happened. And that's rather unfortunate because that had 13 science in it. That was going to give us a decent amount of science. Maybe even enough to get something else. Maybe something to make a probe. And that's very unfortunate. So we'll go ahead and speed up time a little bit here as we float down towards the surface of Kerbal. Jebediah is alive. The mission was a success. We had minor problems upon re-entry, of which I am not sure exactly how to fix. I guess I'll have to fix it at some point. Maybe radiators would help with that, because it does say it cools it down. Maybe radiators are the way to go. But it says it cools down the object itself. I guess that makes sense if it's hot from the atmospheric reentry. I'm not sure, but as we approach the sea level, we're going to bring her down to normal speed as we get to watch Kerbal fall and plump into the water. Nice and safe. Hopefully. You good, Jebediah? Easy does her. Easy does her. And splashdown. Crew report. Okay, we're actually gonna transmit that data. Oh, we're not gonna have enough electric charge. Okay. So we're actually going to EVA Jebediah. Can you tell us anything about your EVA report? No, you cannot tell us anything. So you're going to get back in the pod, my good sir. B. Crew report. Keep experiment. Recover vessel. Hey, okay. Well, it wasn't a complete and utter disaster. Objective was complete. We made it to orbit. Plus 12 science earned. That's not bad. Recovery of a vessel from Kerbal orbit. Ooh, that gave us some science. That was not expected. Crew report from Kerbal's water. That gave us some as well. Very nice. We managed to get a little bit back. And we got all of these parts back. 1,000 parts recovered. And I advanced to the next level. Jebediah ranked up from that. Excellent. And that also completed the mission we needed. So let's go to our research and development here. We don't have enough to buy anything. Oh, we do. We can buy basic science. Ooh, we do have enough. Okay, so it wasn't completely a loss by any means. It was actually somewhat fruitful. What I think I might spring for next is actually aviation. Aviation is very good for exploring Kerbal, and which will also give us a lot of science from doing that, because to explore all the other aspects of Kerbal will be very important. But this also gives us a lot more things to do. Crew cabins, stability enhancers for launching, etc., etc. But in the science also allows us to make probes and give us batteries, which is all very, very important. So I'm not sure what we're going to spring for quite yet. I really don't know. But before we end today's episode, let's go to the tracking station and see if any of our other parts survived. Nah, none of our other parts survived, unfortunately, so that was a waste of money as far as the parachute goes. But completion rewards, did that, excellent. Leave the facility. Let's go check out our astronaut facility really quick here. The astronaut complex. Jebediah has ranked up beautifully. Next hire 65,000. Wow. This person has a lot of courage, but also is very stupid. Stupidity assist. Huh. So this requires an upgrade to allow for EVAs. 75,000. Kerbals can perform EVAs. Kerbal can place on EVAs, can place flags. We are going to spring for that because that will allow us to give us more science once we're in space as well. Administration building isn't giving us anything else. We need more science though. 1 science for each 12,000 funds. Right, we'll look into that. Space plane, mission control. Ferry a VIP safely to his destination and back. Huh. We have a lot of interesting missions that we can do here. We're ferrying tourists now. I see. So we can take people on flights. Fascinating, most. Well, I think that is going to do it for today's episode. Thank you all so very much for watching. That was incredibly successful, but also a little bit of a failure. But it's okay. It was still what we wanted to happen happened, and that is all that matters at the moment. But yeah, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. We finally made it to orbit. Next episode we'll see what happens. We might be making probes, we might be making space planes, we might just be making planes. We'll find out, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great evening, morning, night, afternoon, whatever you guys are doing. I hope you guys enjoy doing it, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye-bye.